Good day, everyone. So, today we shall be diving into another aspect of construction, and that will be polygons. We'll be looking at the introduction of polygons. We shall be looking at different type of polygons and how to construct them. Right? So, let's dive into this. What is a polygon? A polygon simply is defined as a plane figure. It's called a plane figure because it's two-dimensional shape. So it's a plane figure, and two-dimensional shape actually are shapes that have length and breadth only. So it's a plane figure with 5 or more straight sides. So whenever you see any shape that has 5 or more straight sides, you know that that shape is in the family of polygon. All right, and example of this polygon are pentagon. Okay, see, so pentagon has 5 sides. For example, this is pentagon. That 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 sides. So actually, polygon are divided into 2 types. We have the regular polygon. In this type of polygon, all the sides are equal and the angles are also equal. For example, if we say pentagon now as a regular polygon, it means that each of the length of each side is the same. If this is 3 centimeter, for example, then the other length as well will be 3 centimeter. And if angle here is, let's say, 20 degrees, 20 degree rather, then the other angles will be 20 degrees. So for a regular polygon, all the sides and all the angles are equal. And the opposite is the irregular polygon that have unequal side and unequal angles. All right. So we have types of polygon aside from the categories of polygon. The categories of polygon are actually regular and irregular, okay, based on the equality of their side and angle. But now types of polygon based on the number of sides that they have. For a polygon with 5 sides, we call that polygon pentagon. As you can see here, it has 5 sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is a pentagon type of polygon. We have hexagon if the polygon has 6 sides. Then the polygon is called heptagon if it has 7 sides, like you see here. The polygon is called octagon if it has 8 sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we have nonagon if the polygon has 9 sides. And finally, we have decagon if the polygon has 10 sides. We also have other one type of polygon, but for the purpose of this class, we shall be restricting it to just these 6 types of polygon. So, having learned types of polygon, there is need for us to now know how to construct this polygon. Now, this polygon have general rule of construction. Either we use the rule called the external angle rule, or we use the second method that is called the two triangle rule. But let's talk about the external angle rule. Now let's look at how to construct a hexagon. A hexagon is a polygon with 6 sides, all right? So we can either use the external angle rule, and aside from the two triangle rule that I mentioned before, you can also use constant radius rule to construct a hexagon. Okay, so let's practicalize the method A, and that is the external angle rule. So when you have external angle rule, what you need to do is, first of all, you consider the polygon you want to construct. And in this case, we are looking at hexagon. We know that hexagon has 6 sides, so we need to use the formula. Exterior angle formula is equal to 360 degree over n, where the n represents the number of sides. In our case here, because we are constructing a hexagon, it means that the number of sides is 6 sides. So the n there represents the number of sides. So if we say 360 divided by 6, that will give us 60 degree. And that 60 degree represents the exterior angle, as you could see here. So you can see that the exterior part of this polygon has 60 degree each. 60 degree each. So we can use our set square to construct this polygon using our external angle rule. Okay, so we just have to be constructing the 60 degree outside. So we have to start with one straight line. So let's draw a straight line. Okay, so this is straight line. All right, so this is straight line here. um let's make it a parallel straight line. Okay, good. So this is a parallel straight line. Now we need to now measure the external angle of this straight line by getting our set square. So let me get our set square. So this is the set square. Now this set square is going to be the type that is called the 30-60 degree set square, meaning that the angle here is 30 and the angle now is 60. Of course, the third angle is 90. So we are making use of the 60 angle portion. This angle is 60 degree. So we place it in line with at the tip, at the one of the points of the line we have drawn. Okay, because that angle is 60. And then having placed it, then you get your ruler and you draw your line. So let me get my pencil. The set square is already serving as my ruler. So I will draw my line with that part of 60 degree. Okay, so can you see now it's done. So I have to do it in a way that the length of the first line I've done should be the same thing with the length of the new line. So how do I now achieve that aim? Very simple. I will just pick up my compass. This is my compass here. I'll pick it up. I will adjust it to the length of the first length I've drawn. Then I haven't done that. Okay, I can take away my set square and then take the center of my compass, put it at this tip here, rotate it, okay, and then I will now mark this top. So this is showing that this is the length here. The length from this point to this point is the same thing as the length from this point to this point. All right. So we can do away with this because we've already know what we need. So let's take away this. Now, again, we get our set square again. Okay. We rotate that set square in a way that the 60 degree will be on the same line with the new line we have drawn here. So I'm rotating my set square. Okay, and I'm moving the 60 degree portion, this portion here, so I'm moving it to this line. Let me rotate this again. So I'm rotating it like this, then okay, and then taking it. So let us rotate. I want to make sure that it's in line with the new line I've drawn, and I'm placing it at the tip of this line. Okay, I'm placing it at the tip. Now I'm placing it at that point where I make an arc because that's the length I'm using. Okay, so let me adjust it again for equality. Okay, and then I'll bring it up. So I'm placing it at this point where I mark it, where I made an arc. So this point here. Then I get my pencil again and I will draw. I will draw it. Okay, so that's another 60 degree I have made. Okay, and I haven't drawn that. Then I pick up my compass. Take it to this tip here. Okay, and I will rotate my compass to mark another equal length like I did for the first one on that line. So I've marked it again. So to make it easy for us, I'm going to take away this, take away my compass to. Okay, so I'm going to select what we just did now so that we can be together. Okay, so for us to see it together, let me make it visible. Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So Okay, so let's bring it down for our visibility. Okay, now that it's visible to us. Okay, so now again, I have done to this length here is equal to this length here, and it's equal to this length here. So I will take I'll bring in my set square again. I just rotate it in a way that the 60-degree portion will be facing the other side. Okay, remember that the 60-degree portion has to face. Okay, good. So I rotate this again. Okay, so I rotate this upward again, the 60-degree portion. This portion here is 60 degree. So, and then I rotate it and bring it to this side. I'm bringing it to this side. Now you could see that bringing it like this will be wrong because it's external angle I'm dealing with. So I will have to flip it again to the other side. Aha. Because I'm dealing with external angle. Then I'll rotate. So be mindful of the way you adjust your set square. So I will adjust it, then place it here. My interest is to get external angle of 60 degree. Don't forget. Now this part now is external angle of 60 degree. Then I get my pencil again, and then I will draw my line. Okay, a straight line. Take away my compass, I mean my set square, then get my compass to mark the length, equal length again. So I'm going to place my compass here at the tip here so that I can mark the length. So I'll mark it again here. Then I'll come again, bring my set square again. Okay, I will place my set square, my 60-degree set square, rotate it in such a way that the 60-degree portion is lying on the new straight line I've drawn again. Okay, I will rotate it again. It will be easier if you are doing it physically than on the computer with your physical set square. So I adjust it again, as you can see here, and I place it on the straight line I've drawn, the new straight line, the 60-degree facing outside. So I haven't done that, ensuring that it is lying on that straight line. If I haven't done that, then I get my pencil again, and I will draw another straight line to meet that point. Okay, then again I will remove my set square, get my compass, place it at this tip to mark another equal length. So I'm placing this at this tip here. Okay, placing there, then I will now mark another equal length here. So having achieved this, I can now say that the distance between here is the same thing with distance between here. So I don't need to make any other construction again. We already have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the last one will be the sixth one. So I just get my pencil and join this point with this point. Now this is not looking perfect because it is done on the system. Okay, so this is typical hexagon. Okay, so it's not perfectly done because this is computer work. So on a paper, you take your time to make sure that your set square 60 degree is perfect, and then boom, you've gotten it. Aside from this, there's another easier way for you to construct hexagon. It's called the constant radius method. Okay, so let's do away with all of this and try that method. Okay, let's do away with all of this one and try that method. So, okay, now this is gone. Now, how do we go about that? For you to construct hexagon using the constant radius method, all you need to do is to get your compass. With your compass, you draw a perfect circle with reasonable radius of the compass. You draw a perfect circle. Let me adjust the radius of my compass a little again. Then with it, you can now draw. Let me draw a circle with it now, a perfect circle. So you draw a circle with it. So I haven't done that with the same radius of your compass. You do not tamper with it. Just place that at any circumference of the circle. Place it there, but mark the point where you are placing it, and then rotate your compass close to it in order to make an arc on the circumference of the circle. I haven't made an arc again without adjusting the radius of your compass. Just don't tamper with the radius. Only move it to the new point of intersection with the arc. Move the center of the radius there, okay, and then rotate your compass and make another arc again on the circumference of the circle this way. Still moving on, you can still on the same point you can still rotate the compass there and make, okay, so you're already making a point here. So you come here to make another arc, so that that point where you initially placed your compass is marked. All right, I haven't done that again. You move your compass to the next point you have made. You move it there, okay, and again make an arc to cut the circumference of the circle. Then again, you still you keep moving, move it to the next point again. This is another method of making an hexagon, constructing an hexagon. So you place it here, all right, and you adjust. Then gradually you make an arc on your circumference of the circle. Then lastly, you move it to the last point here. Make sure you are rotating your compass, but do not change the radius of the compass. The same radius you have used from beginning. So you come here, that's why we call it constant radius. So the radius will not change. You only be moving it, then you make an arc. So having done all these things, you can now take away your compass and get your pencil, join each of the points, this point where the arc make an where the point where the arc intersects with the circumference, you join them together. So let us join it. So using a red pen, so for our visibility, excuse me. So a red pen with a ruler when you are doing yours. So you join this point with this point, okay? That's one. Then this point also you join with this point. That's two. Again, you join this point with this point. That's three. And you also join this point with this point. That's four. Okay, now it's not perfect. So when you are doing your work, make sure it's a perfect work. You move close to what you're doing. So this is we have done 4 lines now. To this point again, you join it with this other point here. Okay, let's do it again. This point with your ruler and your pencil, you join the points with a straight line, and then that's 5. And the last one, which will make it hexagon, to complete the shape, you join it. Boom! You have just succeeded. You have successfully constructed a hexagon, a polygon with 6 sides. Okay, that's it. So these are the 2 ways you can construct any polygon. Okay, this method, okay, you can also use it to construct other polygon too. Just know the number of sides and divide it, and know the number of sides, and then divide 360 by that number of sides. The angle you get usually will help you, but in this case, this is the rule of how to construct hexagon. So having done that, we can also use another method of constructing hexagon, and that one is using flats, across flat. When we talk about across flat, that means we are referring to distance between 2 parallel sides. This side and this side, they are called flat. So we are going to be using the flat distance to construct hexagon as an example of the polygon construction. So the first step is to draw a circle. We are going to be using across flat method. We draw a circle. Second step is to draw diameters, and third step is to draw tangent, and finally you join the points together. So let us visualize this step. So like we said before, we are going to draw a circle. So and how do you draw a circle? You get your compass. You get your compass. It's a compass here. So you get your compass and you draw your perfect circle with your compass. So this circle is big. Let's reduce it so we can visualize everything. So you draw this. So this is a circle using across flat method. I haven't done that. The next thing is to draw your vertical diameters, and to make it easy for us, I will use a set square that is a 90 degree. Set square at 90 degrees, so I can use a set square to get the vertical parts. All right, and I'll get my that's the center of my this is the center of my circle already. So I will get my pencil and my ruler in your own case, and then draw a straight line, a vertical straight line. So that's the second step using this across flat method. So having done that, you can now remove your set square. So the next thing is to construct another diameter that will be at 60 degrees to this diameter. And how do you achieve that? Simple. You get your protractor, place it at the center of your circle. When you place it there, then you locate angle 60 degree, okay? Angle 60 degree from the vertical. So very important that you are measuring for the circle. So this is 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. So from the vertical part, you're going to mark 60 degree, not from the horizontal of your compass, but from the vertical part of your compass, okay, of your potato rather. So this is 60 from vertical down is 60. So I get my pencil and mark it. Then having marked it, I can now remove. Okay, before you do that again, you also come and mark another 60 degrees from the vertical on the left hand side. Okay, so you can rotate this if need be, or you count. So let us adjust the pointer of our protractor. So I'm going to mark another 60. So from vertical part to 90, this is 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. 60 degree from the vertical line. All right, and I get my pencil to mark the location. Having marked the two location, then I can remove my protractor. Now you can see that the first point here is this. So all I need to do is to get a ruler. Okay, you get a ruler. Let's get our ruler. Get a ruler and then join the point. So this is a ruler here. So you rotate your ruler. Right? Hope you can still look at the point. This point here, you are joining it with the center of the circle. So you rotate the ruler in that manner. Okay, keep rotating it. So you keep rotating in that manner until you are able to adjust it to that level. So rotate it. Okay, so it's done. Then you can now get your pencil, and join it to draw your diameter. Again, remember that we also mark another point here, another 60 degrees from the vertical. So we go there again by rotating our ruler. So we rotate our ruler again, take it there. Let me rotate it again. So you rotate it, bring it here, then towards the center of the circle. Okay, so the ruler should join the point and the center of the circle together. So you rotate. So this thing is more easier when you do it in the physical work, but for explanation purpose, we have to do this. Now, then you can now get your pencil and join this to draw your diameter. So having achieved this, then you can take away your ruler. Okay. Now this is not properly done, so it has to be properly done. So you can take away the ruler, but once you have done this, then you can now get your pencil and join the point where the diameters cut the circumference of the circle. Now it can use this diameter now. This particular diameter cut the circumference here. So I'm going to join with the other diameter that cut the other circumference. So let's do that. So we join this point. Sorry, get a straight. You get a ruler and do that. Okay. So you join this point with this point. That's one. Join this point with this point two. That's two. Join this point with this point. That's three. Join this point with this point. That's four. Join this point with this point. That's five. Join this point with this point. That's six. So now this method is called across flat method because the distance between the two parallel lines is just the diameter of the circle. All right. So this method is called across flat method. So this is hexagon 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Very, very straightforward. Okay. All right. So having done this, now if you look at this very well, you can see that this is not a regular hexagon because the sides are not equal. Okay, the sides are not equal, so they are not a regular polygon. So to draw a regular polygon, you have to make use of the external angle rule to do that. All right. Now, having done that, let us now talk about another final method of drawing a polygon. That's called the two triangle rule. In this method, you will need to draw a base and then you bisect that base. Having done that, then you draw two triangles. Those triangles are isosceles triangles and equilateral triangles. You draw those triangles and then you locate the centers, and from there you can now can construct any type of polygon that you want to. Let's quickly try that and then we call it a day. So like we said, first thing to do is to draw your straight line. You draw a straight line. Okay, you draw a straight line, carefully drawn, and then you bisect this straight line. Of course, we know how to bisect by getting our compass. You reduce your compass to almost more than half of the line you have drawn. Okay, that's the step of bisecting. So almost 1.5 of the line you have drawn. So I haven't done, let me reduce this. So this is almost more than half. Then I take my compass to the tip of my straight line. I will rotate it a little and then I will make arc up like this. I will rotate it down also and I will make arc down like this. Then I will take my compass to the other end of my line. Now the step of bisecting to the other end of my line, carefully done. Then I'll rotate it and then make another arc that will intersect this up one, rotate it downward, and then make another arc again that will intersect the down one. So having done that, then I can now take away my compass. I will now get either my set square or my ruler just to draw a straight line that will join this point together. So I can now join these two together. I don't really need to join the one down. All I need is the vertical uh, bisecting. So I will get my pencil and join this. Just I need it from the center upward. Okay, so having done this, then I can take away my set square. I can take away my set square. Now the next thing is to draw my isosceles triangle. An isosceles triangle will be 45-degree as the base angle. So how do I do that again? I will need my protractor. Okay, I'll place my protractor, the center of my protractor, I'll place at the tip of my straight line here. Then I will locate 45 degree on the protractor. Then I can move my pointer to 45 degrees, 45 degree. I will mark it. I will mark my 45 degree with my pencil. I'll mark it with my pencil. All right. And I'll take away my compass. I'll take away my compass. And this is the point I marked. I'll join this point with the tip of the line I've drawn. So this point here, I will join it with the tip here, okay, of the line. Now the point where the line crosses the vertical line, I will go there and make another straight line to join the other tip, okay, other tip. So that's the first triangle. Remember, we're dealing with two triangle rule. So the second triangle would be equilateral triangle, and that will be 60 degree. The base will be 60 degree. So I'll get my protractor again. I'll place my protractor here. The last one was 45, so let's be sure it's still on 45. So I'll place my protractor here. Then I can now move it to 60. We have gotten this 45, so move to 60. Get my pencil and make a point there, mark it, and then I can remove my protractor. I can remove the protractor. Look at the point here. Like I did for the first one too, I'll get my ruler and join that the end of the line here with that point. But let me make sure that is touching the vertical line. To the point where you touch the vertical line, you draw the second line of the triangle to draw it there. Okay. Now that's the second step. Now you could see that this is the isosceles triangle now. The one up is the one up is equilateral triangle, while the triangle down is isosceles triangle. Now with this now, this particular one here, if I want to draw a square, this center will be the center of my square. If I want to draw a pentagon, okay, if I want to draw a pentagon, I will have to bisect this point and this point here. Okay, now let us talk. And if I want to get hexagon, I will have to make this point as my center of my circle. So let's talk about hexagon that we'll be using as an example. So this point here, this equilateral triangle point here at this place where the two lines meet. That's what will be the radius of my circle. Okay, and the radius of my circle will be the distance between this point and this point here. So I will need to get my compass. Okay, I need to get my compass. I adjust my compass. This time around, let us use a yellow color. So I will adjust my compass in a way that it will be in the same length with this. So let's rotate it. All right. Sorry. So we rotate this, rotate it, and then you move. So I'm trying to achieve the, okay. So we'll move it. So I'm measuring the distance with the distance here. So you can see that it's already more than, so we are just, so that's the radius. Having achieved that, then I can now swing my compass to to draw a circle, and from there I will be able to construct my hexagon shape. All right, so this is where we shall be drawing our curtain. But before that, let's quickly conclude. So in conclusion, we are saying that the polygons are plane figured with straight side, and they are classified into regular and irregular polygon. And we have types of polygon, namely the pentagon that has 5 sides, the hexagon, the heptagon with 7 sides, octagon, nonagon, and decagon. So your assignment is to construct the hexagon using the 60° by 30° set square method, and also state the formula for generally constructing a polygon. All right. So thank you for listening, and thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day. Bye for now.